Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen? Maybe give me a thumbs up or a unmute and let me know. Oh, good. Hey, Heidi, can you see my screen?
I sure can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So let's get started. We're going to talk about the purpose statement today. This follows along with last week where we discussed the problem statement, which is our clear, defined, researchable problem that we're going to investigate. It's important that that problem statement be really specific and clear so that the purpose aligns very well with that problem. If we don't know what we're going to study, it can be hard to describe why we're studying it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We'll have plenty of time for questions and discussion. And a quick introduction, I'm Dr. Samara Rasmussen. I'm the dissertation writing specialist, and I have been with Chicago School for a couple of years now, and I have been reviewing dissertation chapters and supporting academic rating efforts in the online program. I work with Dr. Heidi Marshall, who's also on the call. She's the director of the Writing Center, and I know she'll probably have some insight into our conversation as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing and having a good conversation. Let me just wanted to see. Okay. So the purpose of our study it's why we're doing this. What is the intended outcome of studying our researchable problem? What is it that we hope to accomplish? And when we declare this information in the dissertation, we're letting the reader know some additional information about how and why the study was designed. So there's a lot of different components that go into the purpose statement, even though it's a very brief, concise, and clear documentation of, again, why we're doing the study. We want to consider the different contributions that this study will bring to the field, which is why we look at the literature and the existing research to see where this study might fit. We also want to discuss or include in that purpose why we're studying this population and the sample that we're using to study the population. And that leads into why and how we've designed the study the way that we have. So the purpose of the purpose of the study, all of those things will be combined into, again, a very clear and concise statement of why we're studying the problem, who we're studying to collect data, and what we're going to do and how we're going to do that through the research design. So it sounds perhaps pretty straightforward, but this is a challenging component of chapter 1. And again, it really does need to align with that problem statement, which is what is the focus of the study. So there's a path that you can take for the purpose. And this is just a little moment to kind of reflect on, again, why is this being studied? Why is this an important problem to consider? How does it connect to the field? What will be the contribution from this study? Will it add to the literature? Will it cover a population or sample or problem that has not been very thoroughly considered or researched? Will this study be a case study, or will it be a quantitative study that surveys a rather large population and then provides some statistical analysis of a problem with a response to a potential hypothesis? So there's a lot of different ways that you can approach a problem. And so crafting that purpose, again, helps to connect all of the different pieces of that dissertation. Why are we studying what we're studying, and how are we going to do it, and what will we do with the information? So I want to share a couple of sample purpose statements. So take just a minute or two and take a look at these statements, and then we can have a little bit of conversation about what makes these statements helpful to the overall purpose of the study. The first statement is for a qualitative study. and it's about, it focuses on the specific group of people that will be studied, and it will, and this statement also points out what the results might help the company managers where the employees work could be helped based on the data collected and the recommendations of the study. The second statement is for a quantitative study, and it examines a relationship, and then there will be data collected about that relationship, and then that can be provided to company managers so that they can use that data to design training and improve an experience. So do you see how these statements include all of the elements that we've discussed in the previous slide, even though they're very short and very clear? And I would welcome any questions or input, Dr. Marshall, or other conversation around this. I'm checking the chat. I don't see anything coming in there.
Sorry, I was on mute. I do not have anything to add.
Okay, so this is a relatively short presentation that really is just about I wanted to share why we craft a purpose statement and how it relates to the problem, and then the rest of chapter 1. So please, do you have questions? Would you like to share a statement? I'm happy to take a look at anything or further the conversation. So, Dr. Marshall, did I cover everything? I feel like perhaps I've missed something, or
Well, I think you reiterated really the primary point is that our purpose statement, it doesn't have to be overly long. You shouldn't be in a place where you are really building a strong rationale, because that rationale has already happened in the background of your study and in your problem statement. So you want to add, you really want to aim in this purpose statement for something, as Dr. Rasmussen said, that's very succinct and to the point, but is also chock full of details, right? We should know what specific approach and design that you're using. We should know a little bit about the population. You don't have to get into your sampling procedure and necessarily your specific sample size, but we should know a little bit about the population that you're targeting with your study. And really any other details that are relevant to the overall purpose of the study. You are going to be following this section, and we'll be talking about in the coming weeks your theoretical or conceptual framework. So you don't necessarily have to go into big detail there. However, you could mention it. I will say too, if you are doing a quantitative study and are using a specific pre-validated instrument to collect your data, so a survey instrument that's already been designed, that's something that you might want to mention in the purpose statement. So as you're saying that you're going to examine relationships between variables, you would say that you would do so using the specific instrument that you plan to use.
thank you for that. I appreciate that additional insight. Again, we're focused on this specific section. It does relate to the problem statement. And again, I'm happy to answer questions, but like the purpose statement, this is very succinct and to the point. And in the Rating Center, we can help you if you're struggling with this. And help you craft it, or help you to work with your chair to make sure that your purpose statement really does align with those other elements of chapter 1. So I don't really have anything further on this. Again, this is a very direct and relatively short section of chapter 1. So again, I'm happy to help. Otherwise, we just wanted to present some information to help with the writing.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rasmussen.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye now. Thank you, Faith. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.